Hello, everyone. It's time for Off the Devil. And it's time for the Friday special. Hi, I'm GP, also known as Cute Fingies, and welcome. Welcome in. Big stretchy. But yeah, so I hope everyone's doing okay. Last time we did some Of the Devil, we finished episode 0, which is why we have this beautiful episode 1 visual. Aw, EP. Hi, Lucifer. I hope you're doing well. Congrats on the world record again. I will verify that before, confirming that, but yeah. That's a world record holder in chat. But yeah, just we're doing good. I mean, yesterday we did some wife stream. It was nice. I really enjoyed playing Mario Party because it's always fun to play Mario Party. But yeah, today we're returning to Off the Devil. I'm not sure how much I will go through because one, we are going to do the episode 0 bonuses first, and then second, we're gonna be doing some episode 1. I don't know how long the bonuses are. If the bonuses end up taking a long time, maybe we'll postpone episode 1 to next week. Unless next week there's something else, but I doubt I have something coming next week, so yeah. Outside of that, not much to say. No marathons yet. They do be saying that Flame schedule reveal will be in early July. Now, I cannot confirm nor deny because I am not part of GC, and also GC is probably, trying to keep shush of when they think they're gonna be doing. It's marathons with an S. Love. Is it not in my title? Oh, it's not in my titles. Because I don't have anything right now. I should probably alias that. Yeah, I should. But yeah, we're waiting on some schedule reveals for Flame. Maybe I will submit to another marathon coming soon. I don't know. I really wanted to go to submit for UKSG, but unfortunately, they decided to rescind the whole overnight runs, which was literally the only way I could get in for the next, probably year or so. And while I would love to go to the UK, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a little bit of time to, do so. The other thing that is probably gonna happen is I noticed some events coming soon for the Indie Explorer League, which I would suggest you go to, where we the organizer, said, I'm not confirming this because I'm not part of the IEL staff, but that basically there's gonna be a marathon coming soon, an event coming soon. I do not know what it is, but I really want to partake in it, so we'll do that. Outside of that, yeah, not much. As always, streams on Thursdays and Fridays, 9 a.m. CEST, just like right now. And obviously, if you want to have no ads during streams, now obviously ads are only rolling every hour for me, but if you want to support the stream, or if you are not liking those pesky ads, consider subscribing to the channel because it's always nice. Makes me feel rewarded, and I will love to bring you more content to everyone. Maybe going for a third day of streaming. We'll never know. In any case, let's start with the bonuses. So we're gonna start the bonus scenarios that were the interviews here. And we managed to unlock all of them. So we're gonna go in order from top to bottom, going from London to Reyes to Carlos to Morgan. I will do my best to do voice acting today because it's been A tough week for my voice. I've been doing a lot of things outside of streaming, and it's kind of... but I will do my best. Drink, kids, if you need to. In any case, let's start now. London 01 vid. Begin playback. You want to interview me? It's very flattering, but aren't there more lively folks around here for you to question? I had to consider that, so I'm not your first choice. Oh damn, I might have given you what I caught. Oh no, gone through the internet. No, I am terrible and I sleep. I try to have like cold weather because I'm very sensitive to warmth, and it's just terrible. My body is a lot of things I'm sensitive to, and it's terrible to me. You're the first one who hasn't walked away. Come to think of it, I should probably... So what are your free sizes? Oh, we're going straight into it. Have you been opening with that? Should I not? Do you have any pets? Why not? Would need one or two. Or free promotions to afford that kind of thing. Are pets that expensive? Only if you care about them. Maybe if I found a place closer to the park. Have you ever owned any automated dependents? Not had a chance. Would you own one if you could? Maybe one of the little vacuum ones. Dude, just find an old Roombas. Anything more complicated than that is... If you find the honest manuals intimidating, there are video-based tutorials I could show you. I'm not worried about the ease of use, don't worry. When I say complicated, I mean... It's like what I said about pets. Fine to leave a goldfish in a tiny bowl. The time it takes to swim half a lap, and have forgotten what the first lap looks like. Not a very tall hierarchy of needs there. Easy to please. But a cat? A dog? I don't want to be at work thinking about how bored they are sitting at home. Love your cats. I love Larry. Yes, he's you. He's Larry. Sorry about that, getting distracted by my cat. And today's ads are a lot smarter than dogs. About most things. That's a very thoughtful perspective, Detective London. It's a moot point anyway. I need to get hit by a city bus to afford any of the new stuff Noble's selling. Now, you're thinking of the sheltered generation. Sheltered as in sheltered upbringing? Or shelter in place? There was a lot of uncertainty during their childhood. So when they grew up, they wanted surety, safety, stability. The three S's. Wanted to know what the S3 program. Wanted to know what the heat would stay in on the winter. And that politics reflected that. But that was all before my time. My generation is a little more, well, Generation Zen. That's what they called us in their think pieces. Even-tempered, mentally strong, and more than a little cynical. You disagree? It wasn't a matter of mindfulness, we just grew up without false expectations. Our vision wasn't clouded with illusions about impossibilities like homeownership. Oh no, London. Oh no! Or retirement. Oh no! We realized early that we'd be working up right until we'd... Detective? Unrealistic expectations. Some people call that hope. To see your friends, your classmates, drowning every day in that kind of mire. And then have to listen to people 3 times your age go on about how enlightened today's youth are. Gen Zen. It's not a name I'm particularly fond of. So how long have you been in law enforcement? Too long. And how long have you been in with the homicide department? Not that long by comparison. Sorry, don't mean to be overly vague. If you really want to know, I spent the bulk of my career over in arson. What's different from homicide? Flashier, I'd say. Everyone jokes that homicide solves themselves in a city with this many cameras. Meanwhile, fraud and disinfo is so entrenched in the tech arms race that they barely come up for air. But arson really hasn't changed much in the modern era. Fire's still very good at destroying evidence. You can't expect the drone net to sweep into burned rubble and bring you back out the culprit's fingerprints and driver's license. It's a lot of legwork, a lot of interviewing, And since more than half of the culprits we caught were burners helping Megs commit insurance fraud, we spent a lot of time making friends and enemies in high-rise corporate boardrooms. Megs? Just slang for mega corporations, which is also just slang. At what size does a corporation become mega? It's not really about gross revenue or how many countries you operate in. If you're big enough to crush people, you're a meg. An apex predator among apex predators. Like the Otodus megalodon of the Miocene epoch. Hey, that's... Wait, is that where it comes from? So why are you working in the homicide department? What's that? Why'd you leave us? The smoke. The smoke? Just got to a point where I couldn't stand the smell. Alright. That was pretty cool. What about Reyes? Reyes. Okay, you can start now that my desktop's censored. So, for the record, your full name is Reyes. And how is that pronounced? Like how I just said it? Reyes. 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 I'm fearing because easy is terrible, like, but it's Ez. Yeah, Reyes. Thank you. Your birthday is October 19th. And how do you take your coffee? She makes you fetch the coffee? Figures. Wait, let me guess. Consuela Morgan takes her coffee black. No, decaf. Like a real psychopath. Decaf, yes. Sometimes with milk. Nice. That's even worse. And you, detective? With 2 sugars and a bottle of water now that I've got this. You mean your eye? When did you have it modded? After I learned I was getting promoted to detective, and before I realized I was getting promoted to homicide. You regret it? No. Wouldn't want it for work eventually. If it takes me a while longer to pay off what I then expected. I'm hardly the only person my age walking around with a debt socketed onto them. I see. What are your likes? My likes? Pretty broad ass, don't you think? In that case, perhaps you find it easier to describe your dislikes. Small plates. Oh, I hate that dinner by 1,000 cuts shit. I see. And I dislike cheap people. And liars. And lawyers. Oh no. Lawyers? They're smug, prideful, they build a minute by the minute, greed personified. Like that time is so goddamn important. And they're annoying, and pale, and smug. Should I put down smug twice? So what do you like, detective? Do you have hobbies, areas of interest? Well, automotive history, maybe. Oh, could you say more about that? I guess I could talk about it a little bit. How much that she's gonna start ADHD autism explain us this? The following section has been altered from its original format. Oh no. It has been edited for time. Yeah. Aquid, which was supposed to be a luxury version of a pickup truck, as if there's a market for that. It's so stupid, I love it. And Yusit Chrome, a purplish blue and chromish color. The copyright was so intense that just mixing the paint was legal for naturally aspirated. Can you imagine? I see. Do you own a car yourself? You're joking, right? I'd rather eat asphalt than buy an EV with my hard-earned money. Oh my god, no! Oh, terrible. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, I would never buy a car. Question, be it EV or EV or ICE. I would go for public transportation. Reminder: I'm not a car. I'm a car enthusiast. I'm not a car asshole. The following section has also been altered. That's what I meant. Oh my god. It has been edited for time. Strong language. 4 rotors and a computer chip. That's not engineering, that's barely even programming. And as if acceleration was all that mattered. Any race longer than 2 seconds and simulated engine noise. Engine. We're in the right mind. I believe that fills out your dislike sections. So, what is your favorite drink? Dark and Stormy is pretty good. How do you make that? Ginger beer, rum, and a lot of lime juice. You putting together a recipe book or something? Yo, I am into lime juice. Maybe Ray is closer to me than I expected. Who's your hero? Well, that one's easy. Detective Kasem London, of course. Oh, should I relate to your sentiments to him? I'm sure he'd love to hear them. Somehow I doubted you'd get the tone right. Very well, in that case. What are your free sizes? My what? The measurements for your bust, waist, and... I'm not telling you that! Where the hell are you getting these questions from? I designed my interview process to extract all of the same kinds of facts that are most commonly listed online. On what websites? Open source, collaborative, community-focused databases. We love Wikipedia. You mean like a wiki? Yeah, we love the Wikipedia. Would you prefer to skip this question? Tell you what, if you can find a single person with us answer that question, I'll give you mine down to the millimeter. Fandom. Oh no. No, we hate fandom. Also, I'm betting that Morgan will say it as a pride thing, and she will have to do it. Time for the Carlos interview. So, is this like an off-boarding thing? An exit interview? Yes, it is like that. Oh. Oh, that's sweet of Morgan, still worrying about me. How'd she know I'd be here? She didn't. Why are you here? Oh, hoping to get back some of my stuff that the police collected as evidence. Don't tell Morgan that, by the way. Is there something about embarrassing among what they seized? Yeah, who else would put one's free sizes in an info box but fandom wiki weirdos? True. No, it's just, I'm guessing as my lawyer. Is she still my lawyer? Well, as a lawyer, she'd probably know the exact right form to get this stuff back, but it's okay. I wanted to do this myself. Why is that? Conquering my fears, maybe. Last time I came here, I was dragged in, strong-armed. Everything was going so fast. I barely spoke. I didn't stand up for myself. If I had been able to stop and think things through, clearly, well, I could never have done what Morgan did, but maybe I wouldn't have gotten myself dug so deep. Must have been very upsetting, being accused of something so terrible. I'm sure you reacted just as well as anyone could be expected to. Thanks. I think. My arm? No, it's not back yet. At this point, I might be better off getting an upgrade rather than waiting for my current model to get fixed. Is that allowed? Yeah, it is. Can't downgrade, can't trade in, can't opt out. But Hindi will let me upgrade any time. Do you ever regret it? Getting mudded? Sometimes, but I have a lot of regrets. Compared to some of them, buyer's remorse is... How do you deal with your buyer's remorse? Lately? Lately I've been lying face down on the floor and exhaling. That is so me. Oh no. Okay, I don't lie down on the floor. I just lie down on my bed. But that's so me. I feel you, bud. Oh. Just for 30 seconds. I count to 30. And you feel better afterwards. Yeah. I mean, I've seen the protests, but I've never... There's a lot of pains being a mother. It made sense that people would have loud opinions when them heard. But we all made a choice. All signed the papers. I guess that's just it, huh? None of us made the choice ourselves. I got mudded to help my career. Didn't need to get mudded just in order to have one. But a lot of people did, and do. It was this guy who worked with us for 1 quarter. Probably a vet, but definitely didn't want to talk about it, so none of us asked. Good coworker, very gung-ho, cheery in a musclehead kind of way. It's a physical job, so there's no slouches, but he wasn't just fit, he was cut and handsome. Bisexual flat? And so when he kept showing up to work with more and more mods, all of them cosmetic, I didn't get it. What's he missing? What's a guy like me that wanna change about myself? Himself. Thought of it full-time at the end of contract, but he said he needed something that paid better. Cause then he'd blown every paycheck at elective surgeons. All of mine in HR said he had given his insurance info to 6 different clinics in the span of 4 weeks. What is, he wasn't even using the pain pills. Told them to sell them to drivers for extra cash. Oh. That's the worst I've seen it. Crafting runaway, or plasticophilia, or whatever they're calling it now. But it's not the only time I've seen it. It's not like there's no incentive for it. Because there are plenty of megs out there that see people hurting like that and think, there's an ideal worker. So you work for Morgan, and you're... Wow. Lawyers must make more money than I realized. Wait, are you here to give me the bill? How much do I owe? You don't owe her anything. Her services were paid for by the state. And I happen to be forbidden from handling any kind of financials. Don't touch the money, kids! Due to an ongoing dispute about what constitutes essential office... Oh, she probably bought too much paper. I hear ya. Diane was always the money smart one. Pretty strict, actually. Unless she saw a fidget tubby on the shelf. You could see her eyes light up. Could hear her huffing like she just won the lottery. The ugly, cute babe. And I would say, well, you're cute, babe. Believe it or not. She thought I was pretty suave. Dude, if it works, it works. Don't worry. Well, I'm expecting the Morgan interview to be a bit longer than what we went through, but yeah. Gonna interview me? Here? You did say you need to practice asking better questions, but right now? Because you said the police would be making us wait so they feel more important for the next 20 minutes. Is there some more productive way we could spend the time? I was planning on napping. But 20 minutes? In the lobby of a police precinct? I can fall asleep anywhere. This is one of my many hidden talents. You're gonna write all this down? Would you start with your name for the record? Morgan. And your first name? You should know by now that no one calls me by my first name. That's something you have control over. I wouldn't want to force the issue. How long has it been the case? As long as I care to remember. Then what did your parents call you? The tumor. Well, starting strong. That was a joke. Oh. Maybe we should have started you with someone a little more your speed. Who better to start than with you? Someone who likes talking about themselves. You seem to talk about yourself as much as anyone else does. Or more. I tell people things about myself. It's different. Because you're lying? No, you're getting it. It's not very polite to lie. On the contrary, telling the truth is usually rude. I'm not sure that your clients would appreciate that sentiment. We're not talking about my clients, we're talking about manners. We're supposed to be talking about you. Look, the sooner you learn this, the better. When people ask how you are, or what you've been up to, they're not looking for anything nearly as so heavy as the truth. They're just following the template, and the polite thing to do is for you to follow the template as well. Here, let's practice. Hi, how are you? I'm good, thank you. Way too late. The whole point is to be on autopilot. Now you've forced them to grab the wheel, check their mirrors, and no one's ever grateful for the extra workload. You can be very cynical about those kinds of things at times. I'm just trying to teach. I'm just trying to tell you that people are fundamentally lazy. So if you want to be a social butterfly like me, try not to make them work too hard. Fundamentally lazy? Do you think people are fundamentally good too? Obviously. If weren't, they wouldn't be so easy to trick. So, are you planning on answering any of my questions about yourself? I've still got some time to kill. Fire away. Will you be honest? wouldn't want to be rude. When is your birthday? Wait, you're not trying to guess my passwords, are you? I would never commit an identity fraud. Not the worst way of going about it, actually. December 26th. 26th. That's almost...
No! You are not... You're not allowed. You're not allowed to do this joke. Technically, you are allowed. But no. For fuck's sake.
But almost Christmas.
Means it's not Christmas. Give me a second. I love that joke. What a terrible joke. Also, sorry, Larry. Oh my god.
Your insights are always so original.
No, they're not.
Did you receive your presents on your birthday or on Christmas? What do you mean? Did you not celebrate Christmas in your family? We did. So did your parents give you presents on the 25th or the 26th? Oh my god, I get you so much. Wow. Also, bye, Larry. Unless you're in Sweden, where the 24th is the day folks celebrate Christmas. That's Christmas, yeah. But I get that. I am born on the 23rd of December. It's not a hidden thing. Like, it's totally fine for people to mention that. But yeah, I get it. I get that. Well, I got Christmas presents on Christmas, and I got birthday presents on my birthday. Obviously. Are all your questions gonna be this strange? What is your favorite color? All your questions are gonna be this juvenile. Do you prefer something weightier? Do you volunteer? No. Do you donate? Yes. What causes you to donate towards? Endangered wildlife. Do you know of a marathon that supports, like... I mean... I know there's speedrun marathons that are about, like, giving to wildlife, reserves and stuff, but yeah. What's with the face? It's on auto-renewal. I just haven't cancelled it yet. You mentioned a mentor figure before. No way I ever called her a mentor. A busybody, maybe. World record holder for billable hours spent under the influence, perhaps. Or just, you know, the cougar from hell. If she had rubbed off on me in any way, I'd have hives. I see. Is she a smoker? The violence. Lastly, do you know your free sizes? I do. Would you tell me? That's private. You value your privacy very highly, don't you? More like everyone else doesn't value it enough. That is true. That is clearly a real thing. Water's rising, the world's getting smaller, literally. Less real estate to go around. And everything's connected to everything else. These days, just wanting some time or space to yourself is considered selfish. Or worse. Only the guilty have something to hide. I don't like that phrase. Laws like the Mob Act have made it so anonymity and privacy are luxuries. My free sizes are XXX, YYY, and ZZZ. You're already, like, with this, you're already confirmed that it's 3 numbers. Now, the first number might be a 0, but more likely to be a 1. Privileges reserved for privileged. And if anyone below that tax bracket tries to claw away a little bit of it for themselves, well, it can only be because they're guilty, right? Is that why you became a criminal defense attorney? To defend people's innocence? That's private. Leading zeros, baby! Let's go! Alright, I thought it was gonna be a little longer than I expected. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly be back because Larry is doing the thing where he flops on the ground for food. And so I'm gonna give him food. I will be right back. Like, it's gonna be very quick. Like I said, pretty fast. Alright, now let's continue with episode 1. I suppose that what I need to do is I need to go through the settings. Through the bonuses. Hi Dream, gonna alert, no worries. I hope you rest well. We have a nice time. You can choose to play episode 1 in high roller mode. In high roller mode, you're limited to 1 save slot and you won't be able to reload your saves while inside the courtroom. Quick saving and auto saves will be disabled as well. Oh, damn. I kind of want to do that, but also I don't want this to be like a terrible time, so... And also I would like to have some safety and shit, so yeah, I'm not gonna do that. The minimum ante for hands will be increased. The minimum and maximum penalties for answering incorrectly during trial gameplay will be increased. The maximum ante will be increased as well, allowing for you to earn the largest possible high score for credit in this episode. Completing this episode in high roller mode will also unlock an exclusive phone charm that can't be earned any other way. Okay. Now, I'm gonna say this, that you could basically play through the normal thing and then do it on the high roller mode, so, and remembering shit, so... but we'll see. You can turn high roller mode off at any time in settings, but in order to turn it back on, you would have to restart this episode. Alright, that's pretty interesting. I think I'm not gonna do that, because one, I am here to have a good time, and I don't really like having this, but also while I would think it would be a good idea in general, I would like to, you know, have it, I mean, unless they change the small details throughout, yeah, that's not really a big main thing, so I'm just gonna vibe for the game, if that's okay. Maybe for the next few episodes, when they release, I will do high roller mode. It definitely seems like a new game plus. Yeah, kind of thing. High roller mode is intended to encourage risk-taking and discourage save scumming. Considering enabling... Oh no, they're calling out to me. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, now I'm getting goaded into it. Should I do it? Oh my god. Now I'm being goaded into it. You know what? Frick it. Welcome to the high roller tables. Enjoy the thrill. My microfiber cloth that was sitting in my glass cases has gone walkabout. Oh no. Listen, I wanted to thank you for coming over. Figures you noticed. Anyone could tell something was bothering you. The first person to say anything. What happened? Police came to see me. In public? No, they wanted to be considerate of my privacy. That's a first. They wanted to talk to me about the other week. About my whereabouts. And yours. I told them I didn't know anything. Also, what if you're just goated with it and don't even break his head? I mean, last time it went freaking well. Maybe I'm good at this game. We never know. They must have loved that. Honey, what would you have done? In your shoes? Probably cursed them out. Yeah, I could see that. Is there anything you want to ask of me? No, not even a favor in return? No favors lost between friends, I say. That sounds like a toast. Why not? To friends. I'll raise a glass to that. I don't know who those characters are, so I'm not gonna do a voice. Blast him. Vandalism detected. Incident logged. Recorded at 8:55 AM local time. Geopositional data encoded. If I could have all citizens in the area. Fire off! F off, copper. Visuals impaired. Facial recognition compromised. Thinking nearby opt-ins for corroborating evidence. Hey, he's lighting up every phone on the block. We need to go now, or... That is loud. I'm gonna lower the audio on my end as well. Oh, what? He'll use his outdoor voice? Or he'll have us pinned down for to our dead old records before you can say woof. Oh, hi, Morgan. Morning, Officer Leo. You look different today. You do something new with your uniform? Good morning to you too, Morgan citizen. Body count. You cannot ask someone that. Anyway, yeah, this was going for with regards to your Chapter 0 performance. Yeah, I did pretty good. Also, right now, we have 0. To answer your questions, no, I have not undergone any recent retrofitting. If you'd like a more detailed record of my maintenance history, you can make a request for. I've got it. Must be the new coat of paint. You're referring to the act of vandalization that just took place. Only the most recent one. Super Cop over here has a new dent every time I see him. Scars honorably earned in the line of duty, scanning the street for jaywalkers and loiterers. Don't worry, ma'am. Our report has been filed and the police are working to resolve the situation. Civil disobedience at this time of day? What's the world coming to? They're just stragglers, ma'am. There was a period of unrest in the area last night. Unlicensed protesting and demonstrating without a permit. Well, I hope you threw the book at them. The disturbance was handled, but individual instances of volatility may occur during the next 48 hours as we work to apprehend outside actors. Thanks for the forecast. So does the bleeding stop on its own? Androids don't have blood, ma'am. This is just a leakage of oxidizing fluid. My mistake. So you don't need a bandage, I take it. The leakage will dry shortly. While that conversation thoroughly exhausted, I let my mind wander as I wait for the signal to cross. I unfocus my eyes and dull my hearing, sinking beneath the hum of the city street, and fading through the lives bustling around me like so much sea foam. Across the way, a large man with worn hands and an ill-fitting bell turns to a gorilla-like hulk of a machine and cuffs his hands in front of his mouth. Yo, 61! The machine halts with its lifting with uncanny precision and turns to him. We're going on break. The robot tilts its head to the side. Well, I can't work the plier without Schwinn up on the roof, so... I don't know, take a load off, will ya? Understood, came the over-enunciated reply. The man already walking away tosses a dismissive wave behind him. Yeah, understood. A moment after the man turns the corner, the robot attempts to mimic the hand wave to no one in particular. Got him coppers in every street corner. A derogatory word for automated dependence, particularly one licensed or by or operating under the authority of the state. Interested parties in the automated independent industries have, on more than one occasion, lobbied for copper and other terms like it, planker, chrome dome, microchip ref, to be classified as hate speech, arguing that anti-mechanical sentiment constitutes an expression of prejudice. When considered a form of hate speech, incidents of destruction of corporate property where such terms were used in prior communication would qualify for additional severity and higher fines paid towards the damaged body. Under all but the most radical interpretations of hate speech law, however, prejudice can only be directed towards sentient living things, people, animals, or corporations. If you feel that a corporation you know has been the victim of a hate crime, you can report it at our confidential portal here. Glad to know that corporations are still living beings right now. At a bus stop, or what used to be a bus stop, now a charging station, a passionate young man voices his democratic opinion loud enough for the whole street to hear. They declare martial law when I wasn't looking? A small woman beside him, trying hard to appear even smaller, shifts in their seat. Well, they're just doing their job, so... Bots don't have jobs, except the one they stole from us. Notice how they don't patrol nearly so heavy in Uptown, even on the worst days. His audience, captive by virtue of sharing the same charging pool as him, shuffled... he has an audience because people are charging. That's it. Shuffles, cough, and stares even harder at their phones. The woman looks at her knees and pulls at her shirt. You're kind of embarrassing me right now. He makes a vague gesture with his hand to indicate he stepped off his soapbox, and the shoulders of everyone him relax a centimeter. Oh no, that's just... A woman with exhaustion in her eyes sighs at the hologram floating above her crumpled palm. Mods, which we already saw before. What a rounded, smooth-looking android pushes a carriage behind her. Ellen, walk her around the block, get some air, would you? Apparently this call can't wait, and it's louder than a garbage disposal out here. Of course, ma'am, I'll be glad to. The android punctured his sentence with a halfway between a whir and a purr, which, judging by the coos and giggles coming from the child, seems to have been well received. Robots, holograms, androids, drones, coppers if you prefer. Can't so much as sneeze in this city without a dozen different ads offering you a handkerchief. We also had ads earlier? But yeah. There's a vocal minority that think that the downfall of civilization, but for everyone else. You're too kind, ma'am. Thank you for your concern. It's hard to hate them when they're so eager to please. Crosswalk's giving me the okay. Keep us safe, yeah? Have a good day, Morgan citizen. It's a bright, crisp morning in the city. Lights changing and people moving in click-clacking harmony, all smooth as clockwork. Were I in a worse mood, it would all be a bit much. But I went out last night. Oh, we're doing this now. I'm feeling pretty refreshed this morning. As I reach the other end of the street, I pivot lightly and give Automated Dependent Assistant Officer Elfrio my best impression of a salute. Thank you for your service. And of course, he creaks out a mirrored response. No sense of sarcasm, the poor bastards. But I didn't come all this way downtown to poke fun at the only happily employed class in human history. Now I came down here to make an important purchase. Today, I'm going to buy a gun. Getting guns. I'm gonna let this like go for Lucifer because I know she's a big gun nerd. So I wanna let her see the guns. No staff around? But their lights are on. Drive knocked. Oh. Stop. This personality is setting 6, the cool one. Let me know if I can help you with anything. I've probably forgotten more about firearms than you're programmed to remember. But you can. I recently acquired a license to carry concealed. Nice. Are you in law enforcement? You shoot for sport? Business or pleasure? Later. May I ask what you're looking to carry concealed, ma'am? Oh, you know, assault with a deadly weapon, cruel intent, that kind of thing. Some of my clients live in very rough neighborhoods. Even in broad daylight, coming down to the lower wards for house visits can be... I see, you're a lawyer. I guess you'd say I'm in the market for self-defense. We have a wide selection of options for self-defense in a variety of sizes and calibers with spread and PA fire options available. My bad, PA stands for pseudo-automatic. I know. But for concealed, it'd have to be at least small enough to... This would go a lot faster if I just told it that's what I want. The thing is that if you want to be explicit, then it's easier for you to get gotten. I'm gonna be patient. But walking in here and asking for a very specific model is gun nut behavior. I'm not trying to stand out. Some of the ones I test fired at the range left my shoulders sore for days. You have anything more discreet? Right, no problem. Electromagnetic pulse models feature minimal kickback with the highest accuracy. One targeted pulse of electricity can disable attackers at medium to short range, non-lethally and quietly. Sure, they're plenty quiet, but they also have piss poor range, and even sustained fire wouldn't do shit to any mother with installation less than a few years old. Glorified tasers, fairly suitable as petty favors for anxiety-stricken college kids. Well, hopefully not too quiet. I want someone to come running to my rescue. Of course. Would you like to take a look at our mag rails? Bullseye. We're proud to offer a number of models that utilize the latest in miniaturized ultra-capacity batteries to generate a Lorentz force which slings a slug fast enough to miss the limb at over 30 meters. A slang term meaning to shoot or to kill that originates from the bloody spray produced when a modern firearm's projectile makes contact with living tissue. E.g., a gun that size could miss the crowd from 100 meters even if you weren't aiming. And it's safe? Of course, ma'am. My bad. Two-factor safeties with GPS and emergency services sync. It won't go off unless you want it to, and someone will definitely come running. All these convenient safety features make it incredibly easy for the police, or anyone who can dupe that toolset. Like you out of your own gun with a flip of a switch. You couldn't walk a piece like that down a single uptown street without passing through 9 or 10 no-fire zones. The very worst, most useless kind of weapon a criminal could buy. Sounds perfect! How do we get started? Why does it feel like every desk I run into has to be such a character? Mercifully, it stuck itself away while the fabricators get the gun tagged. I've got time to kill, so if there's anything worth checking around the shop. It's time for looking around. Yeesh. We'll kill you to clean up a little. Guess the desk kindly asking customers to not litter can only get you so far if you're not willing to pay for someone to sweep up. Not me getting nerd sniped by guns again. Look, I told you, you were gonna get you were gonna get gotten. Wait, is this trash? This flyer, is it scannable? Stinging Seat Fury, really? We got a lot of self-proclaimed philosophers in here. A stagnant world, modern man's plateau. Renowned net philosopher Corbin Cawthorn, real name withheld, offers to take you on a deep dive into the global trends and sociological patterns that have driven our planet to the halting point in its groundbreaking and controversial seminar. Moore's Law used to be a benchmark, now it feels like a pipe dream. We used to dream of humanity marching bravely into space, of artisans crafting virtual wonders that make the confines of our own reality seem limited. Instead, our brightest minds spent all their time and effort kicking the can of climate crisis down the road, while their more fortunate peers spent their most productive working years in search of engine optimization and customer experience design. The middle class, eaten alive by the rich they prop up, can no longer afford the very products they help create. Without mass consumer demand, tech no longer has evolutionary pressures to be as small and powerful as possible. Stagnant waters, only parasites and disease grow aplenty. The only cure comes from you taking action. I see. There's another link at the bottom, probably leading to a collection dish. Okay, nothing shows afterwards. Or a state honeypot if you want to be paranoid. They better burn this shit before some neat frick idiot picks it up and gets arrested. Nothing on this screen, but on that screen. There's some kind of news program playing on the screen. Most public places are too scared to put on any channel with content more political than the smiling micro apartment flippers. But this is a gun store after all. Power is always political. There are other things. Hate these kinds of screens. Gotta look at them with your nose turned up or else they start eye tracking. Next thing you know, they're saying hello on a first name basis. But I've got practice with this sort of thing. I can skim the headlines at least. Why the 12/6 work week gives us more free time than ever? Doubtful. I'm 14 and I tried dating a smart UI. It made me the happiest ever. Not the most topical subjects right now. How term limits are oh my god. Oof. Transfusion from one Android tips. Ooh. That's one hell of a headline. If the Animate 16 wasn't selling well before, I'm sure by now it's probably selling well. The Animate 16 is the latest Android produced by Noble Electronics, and we think it's the greatest machine the world has ever seen, boasting a battery life of over 154. Hang on, okay. I'm reading this, but you do your thing. with patented soft-touch digitation, remarkable tenderness and sensitivity, and the uncanny charm. Android fluids are biocompatible with human blood. Okay, so basically, the worm androids are supposed to be like androids with human body parts in them, like as close to it. So I want to believe that the blood was drained and then added for better circulation, or they're just very compatible. Like, they're probably simile blood at this point. We're sure that your Animate 16 will be the best purchase you make this year, and you'll never want to go back out in the cold. Not interested in sponsored research results? See further with a premium account. Alright, what else is there? I've not looked at anything at the top. Is there anything in the guns? I might be good. Yeah, okay, worm being the... Yeah, I don't know if I have it here, but it was mentioned in the previous chapter. There was a term about the difference between cold and warm androids. Oh, finally, something. Someone left a datapad out here. What's in the news today? Lobo friends Tetra with ransomware vulgarity. The internationally wanted terrorist and serial data thief, most commonly known as Lobo, the Wolf, has seized a cache of vital Keystone data files belonging to the Tetra Metallics Group, according to a press release from the mining conglomerate. So a robot with lab-grown meat organs. Yeah, basically. It's supposed to be, like, more realistic, like, and sort of pedantic versions of an android, like closer to realer than humans, basically. In a blitz of cross-posts on 90 different socials translated into all 11 dominant languages, the supposed hacktivist, radical conversationist, and gentleman thief made clear their intent to ransom said files back to their lawful owners at severe cost. Though the posts were quickly flagged and quarantined thanks to user reports, Lobo's latest manifesto, which we have declined to publish here on grounds of journalistic integrity and due to the strong language contained within. We're getting very close to what measure as a human themes here. Yeah. Like, kind of reminds me of Cry Machina's discussions about what is human as well. Has remained in circulation thanks to a loose network of rogue data harbors. In addition to a sizable monetary ransom, Lobo put out a list of demands that spanned pages. Most prominent among them was a call for de-escalation of all conflicts surrounding rare earth metal deposits around the equator. Sources at Tetra refused to confirm or deny reports that Lobo's captured data impacted only their billing services, but insisted that the corporation could not in good faith resume distribution until the ransom situation was resolved. Market prices for rare earth metals surged following the hacking attack as supply halted and demand rose, stoked by memories of catastrophic supply chain disruption in the mid-21st century. A spokesperson for Mining is Progress, a lobbying group that represents the rare earth metal industry, called Lobo's repeated attacks acts of terrors against the free market, because of course the free market is now an entity or something. Wow, there. Looks like you're not logged in. Wanna take care of that real quick? Lobo, again. Or someone using their name. Yeah, that's her thing. Suppose it doesn't matter if they're the original or not, so long as they are a genuine threat. Damn, topical discussions about resource and labor exploitation. Yeah! Incredible. Wouldn't be able in my freaking terrible video game about guns, maybe Metal Gear Solid, but even then, I don't think that Death Stranding is talking about those subjects, although I never played Death Stranding, so we'll have to wait. And no one could snare a corporation as rich as Tetra without serious skills. That seems consistent with Lobo's politics, making demands for de-escalation. It's not the first time Lobo's voiced the displeasure with a decades-old simmer of conflict around the tropics. So unless they're rare earth metals powering all our batteries and fueling up all our pretty little androids are suddenly made a lot less rare overnight. I think this game might be... No, you think? I doubt the state will stop taking an interest in those regions' politics anytime soon. Wait, how long has it been? Shouldn't take them that long to get my gun probably bugged. I'm sorry, we received a breaking news story. We're seeking confirmation and, yes, we have it confirmed. Lead programmer at Noble Electronics and famed designer of the Turing solution, Dr. David Ashur, has passed. What? Proprietary Vantage Automated Dependent Management System, along with the Animate series of androids. Must be some kind of corporate propaganda tactic or... No, they wouldn't risk. Fake news? But why? Perhaps best known for his breakthrough in the field of machine learning and language. Misinformation, maybe? Trying to... Offered many of the development that allowed for Noble's rapid growth and market dominance. David Ashur is dead? Including the popular Death series of smart UIs. That's very sad. I didn't ask. Sorry, I just... Commands only. Understood. Will you be paying with cash or credit? Debit. The gun was light. Lighter than expected. A real gun should always be heavy, greater than the sum of its parts. That's one of the things I like about them. Their weight. Like they're anchoring the world around them. Like they're a fixed point in time. Like everything else is just relative to them. Either closer or further to the end. I would have liked something heavier during the walk back to my apartment. I would have liked to have something to feel far away from. Alright, we're gonna take a quick break here. I'm gonna run ads because ads are coming pretty soon. Take a break, everyone, have a little stretch and everything. We'll be back very soon with more of episode 1 of the Devil. Alright, I'm back. Welcome back to the stream. We're in the middle of episode 1 of the Devil. Time to continue after Morgan just bought a gun. Didn't realize I was home until my hand was on the door. What is this? What am I doing? What am I doing? Fumbling in my pocket for my lighter. Golden, polished, tastefully ergonomic, and fine and expensive. And a good lighter. It was a good gift. I kept the card, didn't I? Here it is. To the only smoker in my life. I know gold's a bit much for your personal style, but they don't make a lot of these anymore. Believe it or not, the only other people who share your vice are stuffy old men with bad, expensive taste. Hope you can manage to get some use of it anyway. Your friend, David. Hi, David. A programmer at Noble Electronics, October 28th. 180 centimeters tall, 68 kilograms. Shampoo expensive. Also a Lobo. Oh, wait, I have not read this. The big bad wolf was here. You're welcome for cleaning out this cache of soy slop before it could clog your brain arteries any further. Whatever dumb dishwasher script kitty they yelled at to come fix this, a word of advice from your superior. I own that password suggestion algorithm. When resecure, try this. Relax your shoulders, stand up from your desk, take a deep breath, then firebomb your own servers. Literally cheaper for you at this point. For the rest of your slug-jawed screen lobotomites looking for a little excitement in this search history, find a pig and rip their throat out. That'll teach you how to run with a wolf. Lobo is king. Wow, cool. Anyway, let's return to this supposed death of David Asher. The news might have more information by now. Or not. Looks like the net's full of copy-pasted statements from Noble. When you search for him... Oh, I see the the suggested corrections. David Asher was a renowned computer scientist, user experience designer, industry leader, philanthropist, and the lead programmer at Noble Electronics. He first received worldwide recognition for his postgraduate theses on intelligent programmatic linguistic weighting, body of work which would come to be known as the Turing solution. Though he retained most of the original patent on the Turing solution for the rest of his life, he was famously unlitigious. By most industry experts' estimates, the Turing solution exists in some form in 92% of active automated dependent source codes. David Asher's philanthropic efforts and invaluable skills placed him at the front and center of Noble Electronics' public image. Many considered him to be the unofficial face of the company, and his private life graced tabloids and gossip sections of the net on many occasions. David Asher passed away on July 7th, 2086. Citation needed. This entry has received an unusually large number of suggested edits in the last 44 minutes. Dissemination of this information is a Class 3 misdemeanor. Tweeting conspiracy theories about public figures is a violation of our terms of service. Yes. The suggested edits are in red or pinkish. And I don't know if it's visible for you because I know you have color blindness. Reactions to the news from every micro-celebrity under the sun. A raw and authentic emotion brought to you live from all the car seats and birthed from mirrors of the world. But there's nothing about his death, not even a time window. Did he die this morning? Was he found dead in his bed? Has he been dead for days, while Noble's just been waiting for the right time to let it leak? Or did he die last night while I was out screwing a phone call? Better not be work-related. It's fine, those shades are too different to mess with me. Cool. I'm not in the right mood. Oh, Morgan, thanks for picking up so fast. She's Jessica Starling, who asked me to call her. Hi, Jess. Jessica Starling is an executive assistant at Noble Electronics. Likes dancing, buying shoes, reselling shoes. Some kind of vintage lady. Dislikes hangovers, soft mattresses, machismo. Oh, girl, I'm with you. I actually like my mattresses to be hard. Hannah's smile. Beth relaxes by bar hopping in the lower wards. The best at reading the stock market, of course. Alright. Hi, Jess. Listen, I need to... I've already seen the news. What? Oh. Of course you have, duh. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. It's just, with the company and their people and all the... What I mean is, if it were up to me, you would have been the first call I made. For a decision to be, for a decision like that to be up to David's assistant, for about 1,000 other noble employees above her on the ladder would have to get axed, but... It's alright, Jess. No one ever really knows what to do with these kinds of things. Still, I'm sorry you had to hear it from a stream Chiron. What difference does it make how the information gets to me? I could have stumbled upon his ghosts in myself and I would feel mostly the same. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to call anyway. Yeah, if I want more information, she's the best source I'm going to get, maybe for weeks. What to ask at a time like this? I'm supposed to express denial first, but she's probably short on time. I don't feel like playing the playbook to the letter right now. Can you tell me what happened? The police, they think that he took something. Suicide? And the police are already involved? They say it was some kind of poison or... God. Noble's got a lot of weight to bludgeon the state with, especially in this city. I would think they'd keep the police at arm's length for at least a few days. Listen, Morgan, I need to ask something of you. Of course, Jess. Whatever you need. Whatever you need? A bit much, but she's grieving. This is just how people talk. And it's not like my day was really salvageable anyway. I'd like to bring you up here to David's place. What do you mean? There's something I have to give you. You're not handling his will already, are you? If the police are involved, it will be a while before... No, I'm sorry. It's not like that. Before he... Oh, ventilator. Noted. No, please, don't hold back on my account. David asked me to get this into your hands. It wasn't work-related, but he asked me. I know I'm asking a lot here, but since it's turned out to be the last thing he ever asked me to do, I like to get it done. I don't like showing up at crime scenes more than often, or more quickly than strictly necessary. That's when I only have to worry about the police. With Noble looming over this, security would be doubled and scrutiny tripled. This is too risky. There's no logical reason to agree to her request. Swing away a place with a caveat. Besides my own morbid curiosity. Right, of course. Thanks, Morgan. Thank you. Wait, I almost forgot! What is it? You don't happen to have anything you could wear in black, do you? I mean... You gotta be there for the morning ceremony. In transit. The autocab hums some synthesized purr as our on-ramp merges onto a canopy superhighway, steadily and suddenly all at once. Not much super about it, but it does cast one hell of a shadow. The canopies always felt very arts and crafts to me. Cobbled together, always added onto, never finished, never planned. It's clearly taken a lot of time and effort to make, but the end result's still ugly, and it feels like it could fall apart at any moment. You okay, Morgan? You look a little carsick. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. But if I ignore her text now, she'll send more later. Hey, Freckles. Leave friend Asher on the news. RIP. Thank you. For trying to be sincere. Worth a shot. Well, I have strengths. God damn, you're one passive-aggressive little girl. What's all your filial piety go out the window whenever you talk to me? Filial piety doesn't work on you. You love yourself too much to appreciate respect. True, in the train. See, Freckles, you can be very insightful when you're too busy side-eyeing the whole world. I wonder where I picked that from. Not from me. I'm pretty sure you were born muttering insults under your breath. The Nesses tried to make you cry, and you responded by giving them self-esteem issues. You ever have dealings with Noble? 10 out of 10 shift in the convo. So does a car crash. Salty doesn't work on you either. But might. You're good at it. That's me asking you for advice. Okay. I guess this never sunk in. Because you spent most of your apprenticeship asleep. But all my clients were celebs. They're rich and famous. I haven't had that many dealings with the Megs that own their likenesses. Is it really that different? Friendly. Celebs don't like people seeing their dirty side. So they pay smart people like me to clean up their messes. But Megs don't like people seeing them in all periods. And also, Megs are more likely when it comes to eating gross. Hard workers with a lot of strengths to vent, haha. Stop. Do you have any actual help to offer? Truth to be told, I did have this one run-in, but I got deep into corporate intrigue. Why? Because I got... I am... I don't know what's under those sensors, but that's a lot. And his life's 45 points to go. God damn it. Hard worker. A lot of stress to vent. Glad to know I can always reach out to you in my time of need. I'm gonna let that slide because I know you're in mourning. Look. Corporate types are all a bunch of paranoid drug addicts. Puffing glue and playing roulette on their phones. While fantasizing about stabbing everyone in the meeting to death. So don't expect them to play nice just because Asher was your pal. My actual advice is get whatever you're owed. Then get there as fast as fuck, boy! This beautiful thought, Auntie. I mean it. Corporations prefer Viking funerals. What's a Viking funeral? A dignified ceremony where the body's sent out onto sea on a boat. Then they set everything on fire and sink the ashes to the bottom of the ocean. Try not to linger, Freckles. You don't want to be stuck on board when they start knocking their arrows. Thanks. But what the hell was that about me sleeping on a job? I worked harder in one day than you and any of you Gen Alpha drunks did all week. Should've worked smarter, lol. And if you wanna go there, you did literally fall asleep on the job. At a Christmas party. Damn, that's a double income aunt. What is it? What is that? What? You have that? Why do you have that? It's not even accurate. Work parties are still work, Freckles. I only had my eyes closed. Because all your old thoughts had your cameras flash on. Morgan, something wrong? You're sweating. Just deleting some spam. Victoria Masters, July 7th, height 166, white, depends on the time of day, question mark. Occupation, lawyer to the rich and famous, semi-retired, likes handsome men, pretty women, expensive liquor. Let's go, bisexual queen. Dislikes clingy people, prudish people, flying commercial. Jewelry, 24 karat, damn. Age, difficult to verify. Smokes cigars, Def 13 cigarettes, and other adult stuff. We've got a couple more minutes of crawling through the canopy's guts before we reach David's part of the city. Uptown, or better half. Gleaming opera houses and touring corporate apartments. Boutique shop with more cameras than customers. Penthouses stacked upon penthouses in a frantic climb to the top of the rat pile. all ringed in by restaurants with long wait times and small serving sizes. The joke is that uptown folks go most of the year without touching street level. Not much of a punchline there, it's basically true. By now, his whole block must be swarmed by cops, themselves surrounded by media and all encircled by onlookers. I could try and enjoy these last few moments of calm, but with storms coming either way, I'd rather use this time to try and find my footing. Actually, Jess, if you got a second, I was curious about... I saw that headline, by the way. The one where your warm android saved that soldier's life. Oh yeah, pretty feel-good, didn't you think? The folks at the company must have been in high spirits lately, I take it. That's what I thought when I first heard about it, but... I don't know, maybe upper management's never happy? Because they're still just writing sales harder than ever, pushing the traditional consumer markets. I thought they'd start building a pitch for Congress the day the story dropped. A big patriotic campaign telling everyone why we need a contact for warm androids in the military. But I haven't heard of them about moving staff around for anything like that. Maybe it's all above my pay grade. All the corporate power and money in the world, and they're still such joyless assholes that they won't even celebrate their victories. Remind me, how many years did you and David work together? Oh. Well, I started with the company about 4 years ago. They offered me with a temp contract when I was graduating. I was put in HR right in the middle of a hiring burst, so I spent 2 months in the Warrens. Then an aptitude test got me fast-tracked to the mid-low management. Sorry, Warrens? Oh, that's just what we called the company dorms back then on the account of all the... well, all the people. Oh, am I getting... Sorry, there's some things happening on backend. I'm like wondering what's happening. Let me do a refresh. Cool. I love knowing that I have a new sub, but then nothing comes out. I don't know who subbed, but thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, all the people. Plus it was underground. Aha. Didn't see the sun in that first month. My skin got so dry. Is that normal in your industry? Normal for everyone else. Sean the God, finally I got the results. Thank you so much for the subscribe for the sub. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing good. And why not two? Oh. Sean, you've been very kind to me recently. I am not gonna say no, but thank you so much. Wow. Why not two? I don't know what... Oh my god, it only shows me one for now. Oh my god. Backend is slow right now. Once the subs go roll in, I will thank you again. But yeah, normal for everyone I worked with, except David, of course. I mean, he was the best. Why not do? Oh my god, thank you so much, Sean. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing good. And yeah, we're doing some of the devil. I hope you enjoy. We're going through the emotions of the start of the episode 1. We learned that not mentor figure, but like friends. I wasn't the first. The mystery remains. Wait, what? Is this a? This is becoming a detective work in the detective game outside of the detective thing. Okay, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe I don't know if you can sub without Can you sub without like with anonymization? That is weird. But yeah, it says I have 5 subscribers now, so the mystery remains. We'll have to see if Twitch unfucks itself. In any case, the best. Yeah. One Tuesday morning, David, sure. Hang on, yeah, I only see Sean sub 2. Yeah, like, I don't know who subscribed else. I am... I'm trying to see if people in the chat, but no, they're not listed, so... Don't know what's happening. And I see 6 out of... Wait, no, I... What is happening? I know you've seen that you can gift sub anonymously. Okay. That is weird. We'll have to check that later. I will check later with how subs have changed with the activity feed. Something like that. We'll do that later. One Tuesday morning, Dr. David Asher walked up right to my desk like I won the lotto. Said I should come work for him, Dr. David Asher, directly. On a random Tuesday morning, like it was nothing. He didn't like to do things on Mondays. Said people were always too tired to get anything done anyway. Yeah, that's right. He did say that. I should know by now, right? 3 years of arranging meetings and keeping him organized and occasionally straightening his tie. He was a good boss. He was a good guy. Yeah. When did you last speak with him? In person? Thursday. Thursday afternoon. The day before yesterday. He seemed normal. I mean, we still don't really know anything, Jess. You're right. Thanks. Thursday's the last time I saw him. That was when he asked me to meet with you. Alright. I'm guessing you already been to his place. Yeah, it's a real mess over there. It's that bloody? Oh god, no, not that kind of mess. I just mean with the cops stacked on the media, stacked on the lawyers. Each of them with their own networks of drones and all their droning. We gotta love the droning. Let's go. It's very it's a very high productivity atmosphere is what I mean. When were you able to get over there? Well, I got a call from legal late last night. They weren't exactly delicate in breaking the news to me. Last night? They said they needed my help sorting through all of his... Well, you know how he let things organized sometimes. He's been dead since last night and they kept it under wraps that long? I know there are a lot of powerful people in these circles, but stop it from leaking over 12 hours. I think that they're, you know, camera drones and stuff like that. That seems more like you just, this seems like more than just your typical powerful people trying to control the narrative. It seems more like there's something they're actively trying to suppress. Sorry, wrong chat. No, you're good. You're good. You're allowed. If it goes too far, I might bump you with a warning. So you found out last night. Right, last night. Oh god. I'm so sorry. I should have told you as soon as I found out. Really, it's alright. Did you see anything? No, I still haven't seen him act at all, actually. He was airlifted to the hospital ASAP, and that's where he passed, so... Sorry, wrong meme bit. Yeah. I totally get that. But well, I didn't get the impression that the cops had been there that long. But compared to the lawyers, they and the rest of company people seem pretty entrenched. I will set up camp before the police even arrive. What time would that have been? I guess I got there around 9 PM? Yeah, because at 9:15 they switched my phone to silo mode and I got locked out of everything but my work stuff. And my last blah at 9:15, see? Gonna expire wherever put me in heels this morning. It me. They can do that to your phone, lock you out of social media? Of course not. Well, unless I'm on the clock, or off the clock, but on company property. Then they could remote all my tech, yeah. Oh, convenient. If I got in at 9 PM, I guess the rest of the company people had been there since 8:30 PM? I hadn't been there more than a few minutes before the mood changed. Word about the hospital declaring him dead had started to leak. I see. He died after he reached the hospital? That's unexpected. It's 2086. You might be in trouble if you get stuck in bureaucratic purgatory when you need to be in the emergency room. But other than that, if you reach the hospital alive, a good doctor can stabilize most any patient within a few moments. A Nobel Electronics lead programmer would have a very good doctor. So what the hell happened? Is she mistaken? Was he just not officially declared dead until reaching the hospital for some reason? Or... Hard to think about, I know. Yeah. Or hard to believe. Jess, I have to wonder. What kind of request did David make make of you that it couldn't wait a few days? Right, of course. He asked me to give you something. Something? Is she trying to build suspense? Right, it's just, well, I don't know exactly what it is. You have no idea. He asked me to give you the contents of his safe. Are we headed to the bank then? No, see, he has this private safe in his basement. Maybe you've seen it? Well, I say safe, but it might be more accurate to call it a storage locker or fuss wall. And all he told you was that he wanted me to have what's inside. Right. He was very clear about that part. Your eyes only, straight into your hands. Handle it in person, he said. Strange. This is all pretty analog for someone as technically gifted as David. Coming from anyone else, I'd call it paranoid. But David was never paranoid. Even when he had every right to be. If he wanted this handled a certain way, it must be for a good reason. So, David asked you to do this on Thursday, correct? Yeah, Thursday. And he passed last night, Friday. Yeah. Wait, you don't think that when we met, he had already decided? It's not healthy to speculate on that sort of thing. More importantly, it's not helpful. The dead don't have anything to offer to the living. I should know. You're probably right. Besides, we'll need to focus. Judging by the size of the crowd I'm looking at, it looks like we're about to jump into the thick of it. And I thought there were a lot of police here before. Maybe too late to ask, but you're not bad with crowds, are you, Morgan? He's kidding, right? It's downright airy in here compared to what we just waited through. Wide eyes and clenched fists, heads peeking over shoulders and around signs. Police, both mechanical and warm-blooded, closing ranks with holograms and quick-set wires to draw a severe perimeter. While protesters, mourners, fanatics, and busybodies shuffle about at the edges of the police line, the heat of their panicked anxiety washing over. Who the hell were all those people? Well, there have always been people with strong feelings about our products. Androids step forward into the mob, gently, firmly, unfeelingly parting the human tide. Most of them with official police branding, but a few remotely deputized consumer models emerge from the crowd to join them. All of them built by Noble. All of them built from David's code. All of them standing vigil outside his tomb. This is all technically company property, isn't it? Yep. David had the penthouse hall to himself, but every other floor stands are Noble employees too. An uncommon arrangement in Uptown. Work at Noble, rent from Noble. Wave hello to your Noble neighbor in the morning and make sure to request a spot in line at the official company crematorium. I don't actually do that last part. I think. Does Noble handle employee funerary arrangements? Yeah, it's pretty standard benefit actually. It's cheap for them compared to dental. But Noble's always been generous with benefits. Work hard and the company will have you set for life. And after. Both the state and Noble have gotten themselves entrenched here in the lobby. Security and damage control and PR and liability. Everybody's just glad to be working. I'm feeling a little overstimulated. Any chance we can skip all of these checkpoints? No, absolutely not. So where do we need permission from? The cops or the company? My request went through, so we should have the go-ahead from both at this point. We won't need to go near the actual, is it still called a crime scene if it's not technically a crime? I don't want to think about how many suits Noble's paying to debate that question right this very instant. David's vault is in the penthouse basement, but we can't get to it from these ground floor elevators. We'll have to ride straight up from the the roof veranda, walk in his front door, and then head down. It just says all we can do. It just says we can do all that without stumbling across where he died. Then. Okay, so we just flash my ID card on any problem that comes up, including him. Hey, ladies. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we're at capacity at the moment. Let anyone else by, and we won't be able to maintain. You're that lawyer, Morgan. You caught me, detective. How long has it been? Feels like it's been ages. Oh dear, still not bitter about the last encounter, I hope. I'll live. I don't see the spunky one around. Is she taking a mental health day to preserve that unflappable charm? Detective Reyes is around. Why, you missed her that bad? I have blind pimples that were more endearing. You two know each other? Just stalling. Meet homicide detective Casey London. It's a pleasure, miss. Oh, likewise? As you might have guessed, the detective and I are acquainted. Comes with the line of work. Logan's being modest, sweetheart. We're practically bud. Oh, wow. Me? Sweetheart? Something wrong, darling? No, nothing wrong. Oh, does she have a thing? But close as we are, I can still I still can't just let her walk off the street and onto the scene of an ongoing investigation. Even Noble's lawyers have to play by the rules today. Play by the rules. So there is a game afoot. What makes you assume I'm here in a professional capacity? You're a criminal defense attorney, and we're at a crime scene. Call it an old man situation. Good detectives don't rely on intuition, though, do they? They rely on evidence. Oh, I don't rely on it, don't worry. I just need to lean on it every now and then, when my back acts up. Oh, cool. Guy gets a little bit of grayness there and thinks it's a free pass to act like a goddamn cowboy. Well, I'm afraid your intuition is off this morning, detective. I'm here on a private matter. The deceased wasn't your client? No, there would have been a conflict of interest. You two knew each other. I see. In that case, allow me to give you my condolences. Thank you. But what could use is a bit of your help. You sure rallied fast. Yes? Right. Oh my god, girl. Deep breaths. We have this clearance here, detective, sir, from legal, which allows us... That's alright, little lady. I trust you. You can leave the paperwork holstered for now. Little lady? We aren't here for David, really. We won't be setting foot anywhere near your staging area, detective. Alright, why not? How generous. I can afford to be generous today, because if I screw up... He gestures to the lobby full of suits and cops. Plenty of folks at hand ready to pick up the slack. Well, if you're that at ease, but perhaps I can take this time to ask you a few questions. Hey, you can always ask, Tiger. But I think you understand what I mean when I say whether or not I can answer is not entirely up to me. You're looking a little bit haggard. How long have you been here, anyway? Since this morning. But civilized folks don't call it morning when the streetlights are still on. Even if you got here around 1 and 2 in the morning, that still means homicide wasn't brought until hours after Noble had the lay of the land. Sounds like you could use a break. I could use a retirement package. Hey, you're a lawyer, right? According to all my business cards. Think I could sue for elder abuse? Not that kind of lawyer, sorry. You would lose, though. I already regret asking. Why take out a homicide detective losing sleep over this anyway? A man is dead and he wasn't killed by fire, a vehicle, organized criminals, or disinformation. As far as we know. For the moment, homicide's technically not the worst fit. But we're leading in name only. A high-profile death like this, everyone's got an eye on us. And a hand placed firmly on the back of our neck. I've been checking my phone, but the only thing the news seems to agree on is that David passed away. Sorry, but if you're asking for details, no thank you. But not letting them make this into a parade. Yet. We do our best to respect the privacy of anyone involved with an ongoing investigation. He declined to say victim. Detective. Dr. Ashur was a close friend of mine for many years. Yeah, he trusted Morgan more than anyone. Can you tell me if he killed himself? It looks like that's the case. I see. Thank you for telling me that. Dr. Ash... Yeah, you're welcome. Sorry. Not a round of guarded words. David was an important man, and it has only been a few hours. But all this tiptoeing gives me the feeling that whatever happened to David, it wasn't cut and dry. You boys and Noble all getting along with each other, sharing your toys. Some of the younger ones are bristling, but I always play well without us, counselor. Now, how well do the Megs play with you? They give you full access to building security. They've given max access, and they say it's full. Some big Penumbra system, top of the line coverage, top to bottom of the building. The size of the data stream is torrential. It'll be a while before we can start making sense of it all. More conspiratorial man might think that was intentional. Bury us in data and hope we just prompt to find whatever they're trying to hide. Maybe. Wait, they give you full access to Penumbra? But that means every android in the building is feeding you the full spectrum. You know your stuff. The Penumbra pulls data from any androids connected to a building's net. But that's not much help since there weren't any androids in the penthouse. Right. You know, I heard the rumors. Never put much stock in them, but it's true. Asher never really owned a single android. Never. Well, I suppose I might do the same if it was the genius who if I was the genius who programmed them all. Every time they opened their mouth, it'd just be. His own lip service reflected a thousand times over, echoing back at him from behind a mask he carved. So that means you all have to investigate with the penthouse security cameras. Yeah, but that should be more than enough to wrap up a case like this. In a good way, I mean. We're very much on top of these, ladies. David was one of the biggest names in tech. He was the face of Noble Electronics. Uh-huh. One could argue androids are only as common as they are today because of his contribution to the field. Some people felt that way, sure. So, do you think anyone would want to hurt him because of that? Remind me, which one of us is the detective again? You really won't let me pick your brain? You already know the answer. Yes, ads are controversial, androids especially. We're Noble are aware that our products are sometimes the subject of heated debate, but no need to quote the handbook at us, miss. Truth to be told, I never really understood the hate. It's not that complicated, is it? How many people have lost their job to an ad at least once in their career? Everyone lost their jobs because their bosses, their flesh and blood bosses, fired them. Nah, ads are just a symptom. Scratch that, ads are just a product. Getting mad at them is pointless. And vandalizing them is less than pointless, because unlike us, they're all insured. And besides, android production has surged over the last decade to become one of the nation's biggest exports. True. I should have at least one thing we make in this country. That's right, Noble only outsources the production of a small handful of internal components. Every other part of the manufacturing process is probably done here at home. I somehow doubt that everyone considers the specific Noble supply chain to be a point of national pride. You don't need a political science degree to see how much the state values Noble's contribution to the national economy. Alright, now listen, I don't mind being helpful and I'm trying to be sensitive here, but really do have a lot on our hands at the moment. So I'm going to have you to be discreet and ideally fast. Well, our business is just in the basement, David's basement. But the penthouse is on the top floor, the roof, so its basement would be second to last floor if you want to be technical detective. The point is, we don't need to go into the kitchen or the parlor. We'll go straight back to his workshop and then head downstairs. The kitchen and the parlor. I understand. But all the same, I'd like to escort you two ladies myself. Wow, an escort. Like royalty. Isn't he a gentleman? Huh? Yes, he is. Lead the way, detective. To hear his words. London ushered us past the chattering suits and humming drones, through the checkpoints and into the elevator. As it climbed into the sky, we got a good look at the growing throng of people gathered outside. And its shifting makeup. Seems like it's mostly protesters now, or worse, brand loyalists. Idiots led around by the nose their whole life, following the musk of whatever trend is laid out before them each morning. Days trail having led them here, for half reasons they couldn't put into words, even if their lives depended on it. They're like insects. And they look like them, from up here. They're probably already preparing their spin. The misunderstood genius of Dr. David Asher, a video essay in 5 parts. But why the company insisted on cultivating such a following for him, I have never understood. They could have easily pinned his achievements on someone more marketable. Someone, a random photogenic employee, or a fashion model with glasses. David wouldn't have minded. He never wanted the attention, the chaos. Maybe it's as simple as bad luck. He just happened to have the right look for the part. A man buried in his work, with his eyes fixed ahead. Noble employee housing, building, Platea. Penthouse. This is what? His laboratory? His shop, he called it. Oh, down to earth. It's messy in here. David was always disorganized. Why a programmer needed to make such a mess just to run tests on computers, I'll never. But sloppy as he could be, he didn't like when other people saw it. If he was leaving things like this, he must not have entertained any guests down here in some time. Thanks for your help, Detective London. Don't mention it. What, you want me to step out? We won't take long. Not liking for boldness, are you? Look, I have to take a phone call. We'll be in and out as soon as possible, promise. And whatever Dr. Ash wanted set aside for his foundation, we'll sure to flag it. Right. At least she's already wearing gloves. If we find a dead body, you'll be our first call. Morgan, what was the stuff about his foundation? Dr. Ash's charity has always been managed by an outside group. You haven't spent a lot of time around crime scenes, have you? Actually, this is my first. Well, generally speaking, it's not really common to retrieve things from the premises while the cops are still searching them. Oh. Look, if David had something to give to me, we can go get it. We just can't make a ton of noise about it, understand? Of course. Right, after you. Right, quiet as a church house. The phrase is quiet as a church mouse, but... Caught myself. I'm okay. But now doesn't seem like the time to correct her. David's shop was a mess, but the mess felt familiar. It was very David. Coming down here, I barely recognized the place. For starters, there's a goddamn gym. David hated exercise, always claimed he didn't have the time for it. Even when I got him that treadmill and the subscription for the personal coaching program with the scheduling subroutine, that he couldn't find the time. And then when I explained to him that the program accounted for that and adapted to his schedule, he still... Morgan, what's up? You're smiling. What's so funny? Nothing. Just surprised to see this place renovated. Yeah, he actually had me on mail tag with a couple contractors a while back. I thought I'd have to learn so much about concrete and wiring and marble. Did you know marble needs to be treated or else indoor air will start to corrode it? I didn't know that. Is that true? Wait, is it not? I heard Guy told me without an epoxy finish, the entire bar table could. Got a vote over there, then. Yeah, send out, I guess. Nervous. What's that? Oh, a little, I guess. But the inhaler helps, mostly, so... Aren't you going to open it? Open it? Don't you know the combination? No, I do not know the combination to David's basement vault. Oh no, how could I have... He didn't tell you or give you a code, or... He gave me the code to get into the building and the parking garage, but not the code to whatever this is. Okay. You know, there were a lot of scattered papers back in his shop. Could he have left you a note on one of them? Yeah, yes, he could have. He would have. In fact, I think he probably did. You just stay right here, Morgan. I'll have this settled in just a sec. Sounds good. Right then. It's a full keyboard here! Well, it's definitely locked. Looks like it's a Tethys Basic Stradicure anti-hack, anti-digital, high-rated code panel. Nothing basic about it, but at least I can see the password's limited to 6 characters. Tethys is the largest online shopping and consumer shipping corporation on Earth, and a dominant economic force that frequently quotes controversy by skirting monopoly and labor law in every nation in which it operates. And yes, we really do have everything for sale, so ditch this lame search engine and head over to online store to find what you're really looking for. Hot stuff. Uninterested in sponsored search results? See further with a premium account. Only 1 million possible combinations. Maybe I get lucky or screw that. I mean, we're gamblers. But also, it would be an attempt. I'm gonna go for it. Slim chances. But what the hell? Why shouldn't I give it a shot? Try his birthday, try my birthday, try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nothing's happening. Okay, that was dumb. I don't really want to dwell on what I thought that could work, because I'm terrible. I get it. There's a different terminal over there. Here. For a security system, according to label. Maybe it controls the whole room? Damn, it's password protected too. And the code's 64-digit long? What's the point of a camera system that's harder to crack than your literal vault? You're egg-headed. Okay, yeah, a programmer would probably care more about its IoT than whatever he can fit in safety deposit box. This is 6-digit vault or nothing. But I'm a lawyer, not a lockpick. And whatever other felonies I get up to in my private time, I never pulled off a bank heist before. Only so I got here is my head. So what do I know? I know whatever David put in this safe, he wanted it kept secure. And I also know that he wanted me to have it. So maybe he thought ahead. Maybe he gutted it in such a way that I would be the only one who could get to it. David liked games, and he really liked beating me. So if he's left one last puzzle for me, I don't mind going another round. All right. I'm gonna do a quick save here. I know I'm in high roller mode. Don't worry. Just as safety because I don't know how long it's gonna take for the rest. Anyway, this flooring's a new addition. Looks like sandpaper, but it's bouncy, rubberized. Feels like something you drag your feet on at the gym or a factory floor. It's more high performance than high class. Expensive, but not in a way you would expect for a penthouse. Well, scratch that. It's actually cracked here. Rubber doesn't break, it bends. That's its thing. So someone must have cheaped out during the installation, like the defect in. That would David left a jackhammer on overnight. Taking a closer look, this is a pretty serious looking set of resistance training equipment. And these weights, they're all set near to max. If Noble hadn't appointed him a nutritionist along with his stylist, David would be downright scrawny. There's no way he was putting up these numbers. In which case the digit on the weights would be a clue. There's too many, and I can't guess the order. What the hell, Asher? You just set the weight to max because it looked more neat? There's a giant car here. What is that about? It's a very big painting. And it's, impressionist? No, cubicle. Cubist, which is still incorrect. Hilarious. Yeah, cubicle. That sounds right. It is not. Whatever its style, I do remember that David liked this painting. The Big Blue painting. Predator is an oil-on-canvas painting by the mid-21st century neo-abstract expressionist Mads Haythorpe. Arguably his most well-known work, it was displayed in the Krüllerheim Centre d'Art Moderne for 9 months before Haythorpe entered the premises on the 25th of November 1958 and used a hunting knife to cut the singular massive canvas into 3 separate pieces. When asked for comment, Haythorpe replied, "My works are not complete until they have been signed." Alright. Very specific. There was a date on it. There could be a 6-digit password, but I don't see one anywhere. Maybe signing your work was considered gauche amongst the cubicle lists. Nothing about the car. Nothing about this. No, I don't want to advance. This must be his spare liquor cabinet. Damn, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Oh, a lot of bottom shelf swill. The kind of bargain bin vodka and nose burner whiskey that only an undergrad programmer would love. Nostalgia's sweet like that. Overpowering. 1 pot per million can cover up even the cheapest aftertaste. David's wine collection, still towering over the room. Don't know why he'd buy so many bottles. He didn't even particularly like the stuff. Maybe just to fill out these all these shelves. But not all the bottles are untouched. Some of them don't have dust on them at all. There's a mechanism for retrieving bottles off the rack. The latest bottle chosen was a Merducamp 81. Could be significant. Except vintages only list the years that were bottled, not the month or day. It's not enough digits for the code. Alright, I've searched the whole room now. Time to make or break. Alright, so we have a couple of things. I'm trying to remember. 81 for the wine. Um. God, I don't remember about the. When was the painting? 25th 11 8 58. Okay, let's try that. Let's go. I remember my dates. I almost forgot about it. 11/25, 11/25/58. The date the painting was signed. A password like that is and isn't left in plain sight. Nice one. Hey, Morgan, what? How did you get it to open? What is that? I turned back around just in time to see a door finish swinging open with mechanical grace, revealing a girl with a barcode emblazoned across her temple, required by law to be plainly visible. It's an android, clearly marked as such. And yet, even standing this close, I could swear it's snoring? I stepped forward and placed the back of my wrist on the android's brow. Warm. It must be a prototype for the Animate 16. Maybe a prototype for the 17? Or 18? A biomechanical android with real human flesh. Sorry, biomechanical, yes, but it's organic flesh, not human. Grown from lax Gemini cultures, but Sorry, I misspoke. Right, understandable since you seem surprised, Jess. Hasn't Noble been working on warm androids like this one for a few years ago? And for a few years now? So yeah, if Lucifer, you wanted to have like more information about Warm, and it's basically like they feature organic flesh in some capacity. It is generally understood that through marketing materials and user maintenance documents that warm androids will require oxygen, water, and periodic organic sustenance in addition to wireless charging. Alright. You seem surprised, Jess. Hasn't Noble been working on warm androids like this one for a few years now? Warm androids like this one? I mean, yes, we have. Sorry, it's just that this particular is very, it's very cutting edge. Leading edge, judging by the flush in his cheeks. I think it's safe to say that we've found what we're looking for. I think so too. That presents a problem then. Oh, do you not, approve? I've got nothing against androids. My concern is a bit more immediate and, well, practical. Practical? I don't know how to turn it on. Do you see a switch or something? Do you? Can we, turn it around, or... I poked the android's ribs. A little less give than expected, given its frame, but rigidity is remarkably lifelike. I place my hand on the shoulder and give it a shake, but it doesn't budge. This thing has to weigh more than... Right, androids mostly transport themselves, so people are always surprised that they're a bit heavier than they look. A bit? I'm surprised the whole room isn't slanted. There's no way in hell we're moving this thing without waking it up. Crap. First the vault, now this. I was able to get the combination just by poking around. Compared to that, thinking this hunk of junk's power switch should be child's play. I think I know where to start. Jess, I'm going to step back into the lab for a moment, alright? Huh? Oh, sure. It's gotta be a manual around here. Good idea. It might be some kind of prototype, but it's still got a barcode. Maybe you can scan its GIN number and find something in the company files? Yeah, of course. All generic ID numbers should be paired with industry standard files and maintenance tracking power requirements. I somehow doubt that the enigmatic android taking a catnap in a sarcophagus in David Escher's basement will have a user manual, but it can't hurt for her to try in. I'm okay. Rooker healed, but I'm okay. I carry glue. I rather searched the lab by myself. Now then, if I were David, and I wanted to make sure that only one person would be able to walk out of here with that android, how would I set it up? These appear to be holding tanks for something. How should I know? No labels on anything, typical for an ingenious, but a nightmare for anyone trying to pick up after him. It's a lot more hard science than I expected here. Centrifuges and glasses and microscopes. Don't programmers all do all their work with keyboard? Okay. Haven't seen one since college, but this must be a 3D printer. Hey, Ellie, it's for you! Of some sort. It feels expensive enough to make other printers look like soda fountains by comparison. Better not mess with any of the settings. Looks like a fairly normal computer. If I'm lucky, the security will be fairly normal as well. Boot up complete. Username. Vocal commands. David Asher. Morgan. Guest. Thank you for logging in as a guest. You didn't recognize my voice, so I can probably rule out a vocal command being the key to waking up the android. Do you have a question? More than one. For now, though, what should I search for on his computer? Search files for Android. 60,000 results and counting. Yeah, okay. David would have a lot of files and Androids. Needs to search matter than that. I think that the one they want is Morgan, but I want to see all the text. Search files for basement. 812 results on the local drive. So should I expand the search? Auditing how he renovated his basement could take all day. Search files for Morgan. 23 results on the local drive. I can work with that. Mostly phone book and social data, but I don't recognize this file type. Some kind of personal format? Date of birth, education, occupation, blood type, height, and weight? Alright, buddy, a little invasive, don't you think? DNA and fingerprints. Now, why do you have that, David? My DNA isn't in any database. I made sure of that. So he couldn't have bought this anywhere. He must have collected it himself from a wine glass or the like. It would have been easy to do. But why do it? No matter how comprehensive biometrics on your bestie, probably. I'm not sure, Cyrus. But hi, welcome in. We looked at this. I'm trying to find other things. Oh, let's go. Diagrams of human anatomy. The hands are highlighted. The most developed part of the human body. Good for making stone axes and sending emails. Robots and frames can do just fine with claws or 3-digit imitations. But androids are expected to look like people and move like them too. Getting the hands right must be a big priority. Is it as hard as drawing them? Good question. That tree-like shape on the right is a neuron. Those branches receive input of varying weight, and if the sum is greater than a certain threshold, your neuron fires. A 0 becomes a 1, and all the zeros around it take that into consideration. Repeat that a couple billion times a second, and you got a human brain. A computer powerful enough to simulate all of reality. That's the analogy I read in a magazine anyway. Alright, I'm starting to get a pretty clear picture of what it will take on to turn on this android. I've got the what. For the where and how, I'll just have to manage. Still just a piece of machinery. If it really won't turn on, I can always start hitting it. Morgan, there you are. I've looked in every registry I could find and every database I could get into, but I don't think this android is in the system. That was a long shot. Don't beat yourself over it. Yeah, but with an android with a proper identification is... It's only buying or selling an android without proper identification that's illegal. Yeah, it's like selling a car. If you sell a car with wrong identification, it's bad. If you just happen to acquire it, you're good. Yeah. And it doesn't seem like he ordered this online. Look, if you build your own android, I think it's fine. I guess you're right, huh? We'll have it registered soon enough anyway. I think I figured out what we need to do here. Oh. If David really wanted me to have this, he would have left some way for me to turn it on. I want to turn on the gun. Probably should say that on Twitch.tv. No, please. I will ban you if you actually do that. At least time you out. What are you thinking? David had my fingerprints and DNA on file. By requiring both, he could be reasonably sure that no one was powering up this android without my approval. You got on a Swerve before, haven't you? Every month for the company. Apparently they're building a database on employee epigenetics cross-referenced with... Oh, so you're gonna... My DNA and my fingerprint make the key. Now, where to find luck? Now, the lips would be pretty funny. And I would love to say that. But usually you would be kissing for the lips. Yes, I want to overwrite. I think I know that it's the hand. The thing is that I'm not sure. Interesting comments to come back to. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome back. It's okay. I already did the warning. Let's go in order, but I think the hand is the actual thing. And I guess it's not impossible. Morgan, are you really going to slip your thumb up its nose? No, I'm not. If it takes something that silly to put it up, I don't even want it anymore. The lips? The lips are one of the most sensitive parts of the body. Not the worst place to make a scan, even if it's gross placing my finger there. Oh, that's... still not doing it, huh? In fairness to the second one, Morgan said it. Yeah, she did say that she was gonna punch the robot. Come on, do I really need to push my finger deeper? Jiggle the key? Oh man, you went right in there. Are you touching the tongue? It's blinking at me. Okay, it was the mouth. Oh, shoot. Oh no, I thought it was the hand. No, I'm thinking about that one manga now. Alright, so I should mention this before in having my first time with an android does having sex with an android counts as still being a virgin. The identification for the finger is on the vagina. So yeah. Fun times. Don't want to wake up and call by putting your fingers down her throat. Now that's something that would be pretty nice at a party, but also not now. Good moment. Good moment. Good morning to you too. I also know of that Yuri manga. Yeah, you know where it comes. I was thinking of that one. It was that one. Cute. Hello. I've never seen you two before. I guess we should introduce ourselves then. Hi. This is Jessica Starling. She works for Dr. Ashur. I'm Morgan, a friend of his. Got all that? She swear to God. Yeah. You wanna ask what? That we're gonna watch the anime together when it comes out? Yes, we're gonna watch the anime of it when it comes out. I understand. She is Jessica Starling, and you are Morgan. Last name unknown. No, Morgan is my last. Father told me about it, about you. Oh, he did? Wait. Father? David, you had it call you daddy? I am referring to Dr. David Ashur. Are you confused? That's not the word I'd use. I'll throw out a bone beyond the grave for the good doctor and just move this along. Did David say that he was giving you to me? Transferring ownership? Ownership? That is correct. And what else did... Mostly correct. Right. And what else did he tell you? Many things. Can you specify? I thought conversation was the first thing David figured out how to program. Did Dr. Ashur tell you anything he wanted you to convey to Morgan? A message you were supposed to pass on? Yes. Yes, I think it's trying to... Oh, okay, sure. I give you two... Oh well, I give you some privacy, Morgan. I've actually gotten about 14 messages in the last 2 minutes, so... I'll just head back up to the lab to take some calls, okay? Thanks, Jess. Yes, thank you, Jess. You're welcome. Just the two of us now. So what do I call you? My name is Sarah. It's nice to meet you, Morgan. Trust me, the pleasure's all mine. So what's the message? Well, the message is that I'm gonna run ads because otherwise I'm gonna run out of snoozes. So I'll be back in a quick, after the 3-minute ads. Stay tuned. We're gonna know a little bit more, and then we're probably gonna end stream because it's already above 2 hours. So, but yeah. Where are the pipeline? First, she'll make you watch this monster once you eat me. Next, the only 6 what Yuri. This monster would. I'm glad I'm not the only one. But yeah, I'm gonna run ads. I will see you all in a little bit for basically kind of ending this part of the discussion. All right, I'm back. Let's hear the message. Father told me that I would be living with you from now on, and he told me that you would look after me. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Should it? A model this lifelike, with warmth and breath and something close to blood in its veins. Just what are you, anyway? You forgot my name already. It's Sarah. What were you built for? You're warm, obviously. You're not one of those physical therapy models, are you? That would be highly illegal. I haven't completed 500 hours of study at a state-approved message therapy school. I haven't even completed one or... What purpose did Dr. Assure design you for? Also, I forgot to mention that we're in break-in. My bad. Also, I'm seeing you in chat. I just want to go through the message for the thing. Also, Larry is here. He wants out. He wants food also, which is why we're gonna close this stream pretty soon. I don't know the answer to that question. You don't know why he built you? No, should I? How could you not? Do you? Would I be asking you if I did? I mean, do you know why you were created? Why you were born? Why? Why me? Why would you? Why are you doing this? You're a freak! A monster! What the hell's wrong with you? Please don't kill me. Please. Why? Why? Why was a monster like you even born? Guess I walked into that one. I was starting to wonder if you even had the Turing solution. Father's framework for programming linguistics in artificial systems, and a body of work for which he has gained international recognition. Yeah, an international jealous. You have an answer to my question. An answer as to why you were created, why you exist. Holcomb's razor. I'm here because my parents wanted me. I see. Then I will give a similar answer. I was created because father wanted to make me. Can't argue with that logic, can I? Can't argue with that logic. Father did say you were a lawyer. Yeah, that's me. You're a lawyer, and I defeated you with logic. World-class, high-power attorney, the best defense that money can buy. Did you catch criminals? That's what cops do. You litigate criminals. That's what prosecutors do. I love Sarah's little smug, proud expression. She's so cute. Yeah. She's pretty adorable. Then, do you fight for the underrepresented? Expose injustice? Sue corrupt corporations and officials? I don't think anyone does that anymore. Then, what do you do? I'm a criminal defense attorney. A defender of the innocent and powerless. Uh-huh. You also, now that you know all about me, what can you tell me about yourself? I've never had to do that before. First time from everything. How old are you? I'm not sure I can give a satisfactory answer. Oh, for 2 on answering simple question. What's the date of your earliest memory? 2 years ago. And where were you constructed or assembled or whatever? What facility? I was not constructed at any facility. Sorry, looking kind of close to Seraph. Kind of, yeah. It kind of feels like that. I'm trying to see the closeness. That white coats. Is this the Deus Human Revolution again? Father created me here by himself. You're saying if I took your pot, I wouldn't be able to find any markers from any manufacturers, any IDs, or any designers. You want to take me apart? David was a programmer and engineer. How could he build a custom android from scratch in the comfort of his own home? He couldn't have. He must have had help. Probably a whole department's worth. Concept gallery from Sub-Zero had a note of inverse Morgan's color, which, if Morgan is the titular devil, yeah, that's the main thing. I will remind people that no spoilers, otherwise you will get timed out very hard. If I ask around, there's gonna be someone in the company who can ID this thing and help me figure out what's so important about it. You don't look like any android I've seen. I forgot to mention I don't like spoilers, but I mean, that's pretty evident considering people have been very nice right now. You don't like any android I've ever seen. What are you made of? I was speculating, thank you very much. No problem. No problem. Good. Thank you, Cicerus. What are you made of? This body is comprised of organic tissues integrated directly into cybernetic systems. They require organic nourishment, including water, carbohydrates, and salt. Wait, worm androids have to eat and drink? They cannot be worth that much trouble. My cybernetic systems operate largely as analogs to their equivalents in the human body. I have a respiratory system for oxygen exchange and a centrally located pump that circulates oxygen. You mean it got a heart? How quaint. But where does all the extra weight come from? Pardon? I tried moving you earlier and felt like I was pulling against a truck. My skeleton is a combination of medical grade plastics and a military grade titanium carbide alloy. That sure took the wind out of her sails. My muscles are made of adaptive rare earth alloy nanoweave fiber with shock absorption and kinetic potential rated past. Wait, did you say military grade? I have a grip strength of about 1,000 kilograms. I can run at sustained speed. She's a horse girl. She's a horse girl. She might be a blade burner for real. I can jump 6 meters vertically. I can lift approximately. I'm not sure what kind of grip strength most androids are walking around with, but I've never seen any of them move the way it's talking about. You're just standing there. It seemed to be poised, controlled, spring-tight, strength and flexibility like a ballerina or a gymnast. Strong enough to flip over a tank, lifelike enough to avoid detection. Huh? As long as it never stepped on the scale, it'd make for a perfect infiltration unit. Larry wanted out. Sorry about that. If you keep its development a secret. Did David really put something that heavy on my plate? Dismantling a military prototype in secret? Are you deep in thought? But a military infiltration android would look more crew-cut and forgettable. And would David really devote personal time and effort just to make another weapon for the military? I have other features I could tell you about if you like. If I shot you, would you die? It would be very painful. And there would be a discharge of fluid, but conventional weapons would not prove particularly effective. That settles it. This thing is a weapon, sure as I... Would you like to know about my hair? Your hair? I'm impressed you noticed. Each fiber contains miniaturized solar cell lattice technology, allowing me to remain charged throughout the daytime. That must come in handy? I haven't actually had the chance to use it yet. This room has ambient wireless charging functionality. She's such a cute... Yeah, like, she's a baby, and we gotta protect the baby. She's also able to crush us. But yeah. This room has ambient wireless charging functionality, and I haven't gone outside much. Okay, maybe it's not a weapon after all. You're just a pincushion, aren't you? I'm not familiar with the term. Searching. Autism-coded robot girls, my beloved. Let's go! Pincushion, jargon, design. The first two prototypes filled with experimental technologies to check for compatibility issues. Go Belly leaves the house. I'm solar powered. Technically, every human is solar powered, no matter how much they want to pretend they don't get out. Got an idea? Not sure what to do with? Stick it in the pincushion. It's as good as an explanation as any for what I'm staring at. A mishmash of state-of-the-art military features spliced with odd new technologies and seemingly pointless additions. The end result being a singular, unsellable android that wasn't particularly good at anything and would break down after only a few years. Pincushions are a small but valid part of the field of android manufacturing. They are valuable to our collectors. We'll see them as a time capsule filled with the designer's most outlandish ideas and least predictable results. But even the most nonsensical pincushions are built with a committee over years, with numerous engineers and programmers adding in the pet function. The android before me claims to have been built by one man. I have a vitamin D deficiency at one point, that's how little I got out. I need to tell you that my endocrinologist literally said, yeah, I'm prescribing vitamin D to anyone who doesn't work literally in the sun. So, yeah, I got my vitamin D now. Since we got off track here, Sarah, was there anything else David told you to relay me? Who says that you were to look after me? He also told me that you were reliable and I should trust you. He said I was to listen to you and obey your instructions. Finally, some good news. As you say, Adonai. What's that? That word you called me. What was that? Adonai, from classical Hebrew. Translated literally, it means my lord. Oh no. You shut that down immediately. You prefer that I call you master? No. Very good, Adonai. Why did David use Hebrew, though? Abrahamic myth tells of servants constructed out of earth and clay, designed to resemble and obey their masters. Golems. Father must have found the comparison appropriate. Amusing, more likely. It's just a joke. Yeah, but how many per dose does she have you taking? Mine had me on 8. Oh, I don't have that. No. I have once a month. Father would not make light of such a thing. Sure he would. Perhaps we should ask him to clarify his reasoning for himself. Where is Father, by the way? Is he upstairs? When was the last time you were active? 38 hours ago. Thursday night, then? Correct. Right. David Asher is dead. He died last night. Understand? Oh. May I see him? See him? No, I won't be able to see him. Funeral's probably not for a few days. He was not sick. I don't feel like doing the whole song and dance with 2 robots in one day. That's very charming, but let's go to commons only. What? What happened? Did he have an accident? Why is it still during the theatrics? Does it not recognize my authority yet? The police have determined that he committed suicide. For the time being, we ought to focus on getting you properly registered. Maybe then you'll take comments for the first time I say them and not. The police are wrong. Excuse me? They are wrong. Father did not commit suicide. He would never do such a thing. Father had. He told me. Look, Sarah? I'm sorry? You're sorry? But I said you were his friends. How are you so calm? I've been around death a lot. So don't try to lecture me about Griff, Spearmint. My name is Sarah. You will use it because my father, Dr. David Ashore, the greatest programmer in the world, gave it to me, and he did not kill himself. Let's say you're right. David didn't commit suicide. If that's the case, the police will realize that soon enough. The police have already made the determination. That's just what you said. But I said that you were a lawyer, that you were capable and reliable, and a friend. You should be looking into his death. That's... Is that an order? Of course not. It is a request, Adonai. A request I'll have to refuse. The police have their job, and I have mine. If I stick my nose into the investigation any further, they'll come down on me hard. Cops don't like lawyers in principle. But what they really hate are people who tell them how to do their job. Let's go. We need to. Father asked you to look after me. Yeah, he did. He also said you should obey me, but you don't seem to be quite as fixated on that part. And he said something else. He said that you owed him a favor. One favor. The finesse starts here, Spearmint. That was between him and me. Father is gone, so now it is between you and I. And I'm calling in the favor now. What? You don't have to take care of me anymore. Consider that request null and void. You can sell me to some collector, or you can donate me to a university. It doesn't matter. In exchange, you will prove Father didn't kill himself. And you will make sure that whoever hurt him is held accountable. Why are you laughing? It's you and me, not you and I. You and me. David would roll over in his grave if he knew you'd gotten that wrong. It was not my intention to amuse or rotate. No, that's for damn sure. Fine, I'll take that deal, Sarah. You mean, you'll prove that Father did not? I mean, I'll look into it. I'm a lawyer. I don't prove anything. I just disprove what I can. And where do we start? We? I didn't realize you had a law degree. I do not have a law degree, but I'm a fast learner. This isn't a job interview, and I'm far from useless. I can... The ad did raise at least one good question. Why do I start? I'm a defense attorney, not a police detective, and David was my friend, not my client. I won't be able to poke around at all unless... And I'm also capable of... Can you tell a lie? I am capable of making statements that are false. Guess I'll have to do. Are you going to ask me to lie? Yes. To the police, in fact. Lying to the police is a felony. Androids don't commit felonies, they make errors. I see. What kind of error did you have in mind, Adonai? And that will be the end for today. Thank you so much. Yeah. Woo! Lots of things happening in this episode 1. And yeah. I hope you're excited. We'll be continuing this on next Friday. Let's find someone to raid. But again, I'm gonna say thank you to Sean for the subscription. And also to this, I don't know whom, like, hidden subscriber that Twitch apparently can't figure it out. Thank you so much. But yeah, I will see you all on next time on Thursday, same hours, 9 a.m. CEST, for some speedrunning. I don't know what I'm gonna do, although I have a suspicion that it's gonna be Super Hello Ranger. That will be pretty fun. Probably all collectibles again, because we finally found what are the requirements. I hope. So yeah. Nice dancing peas. But yeah. She got a fucking uplink to the web. I'm sure she could get a law degree sorted pretty quickly. Oh my god, no. But yeah. Outside of that, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all being here. Fingers crossed. And next time for Of the Devil, we're gonna start our investigation, quote unquote, about what happened to David Ashore. Who is up right now? No one. No one I know is up. So, yeah. That's gonna be the end. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next time.